Most MobileIron customers are also Microsoft customers. I wanted to take 2 minutes and describe from our viewpoint the overall Microsoft strategy. There are 3 things that are very important for Microsoft to win in the enterprise moving forward. The first is to remain the authoritative source of productivity solutions. In other words, move the premise-based Exchange, SharePoint, Office into Office 365 and move Microsoft to a recurring revenue model. The second is to remain the authoritative source of identity in the enterprise, to move from Active Directory to Azure Active Directory. And the third is to ensure that as workload from the data center moves into the cloud, that moves into Azure and not into AWS or Google's cloud. Winning those 3 items, productivity, identity, and compute, are very important for the Microsoft of the future. When Microsoft goes to sell to customers, they will always sell Office 365 along with a product called EMS that I'll describe in a separate video. Those 2 together form the main thrust of the Microsoft strategy to the enterprise. Office 365 is very appealing to customers because most customers have Microsoft as their productivity standard. And because the new investments Microsoft is making are cloud-based, that brings customers along. The other strategic reason that Office 365 is so important is it brings Azure Active Directory and Azure services into the enterprise. It's the front piece, which customers really want, that also brings identity, takes some identity and puts that into the Microsoft cloud, and then takes a lot of the enterprise workload and moves it on. So the move to Office 365 accomplishes key economic criteria for Microsoft. It moves the company to a recurring revenue model. It brings Microsoft workload that was in the data center into the cloud, and in doing so, it drives Azure consumption, which in the end is one of the key goals we believe for Microsoft as an organization, to take the move from data center to cloud and ensure that as much of that move happens onto Azure as possible.